Yeah.
So
It is serious.
we definitely have to do.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Exactly.
It's real.
It is real. It is serious. And we are really going to like have a go at this soft life thing.
And okay, and also while we're actually here, what started this whole thing was we both got laid off. And
yes,
obviously not fun to be laid off, but it's so funny because we had different approaches about getting laid off. Like I got laid off and I had to almost like obsessively tell everyone that I got laid off. Like I Instagrammed it. I would like, it'd be like the first thing out of my mouth at a party. And I feel like it was like a compulsion almost.
Do you know why you felt like you had to do that?
Yeah, I feel like I had to be on the offensive, you know, like I had to, it's probably like a self-defense mechanism, right? I had to say it before like the pity came.
Yes.
Because it does, we all know it sucks to get laid off. So I had to like say it first to like take control or something.
I love that you talked about like a defense, like on the defense. I felt like I kind of retreated.
Well, you held it close.
Yeah, I kind of felt like, you know, when you see like a tiger or a lion in retreat, I was kind of like that. And actually I am tiger in the Chinese zodiac, actually.
Are you?
I am.
I think I'm a rat.
Oh my God, so New York. Yeah. And like, that's what I felt, because actually I know that like being laid off, especially in America, is like a rite of passage, right? And it's nothing to be ashamed of, but I just didn't feel good about it. And I was really shocked. And also like, I just didn't like, I don't know, I just really kept it in. I processed it, and it was just a lot for me.
Yeah.
So the idea of like, blasting it out to the world was like opposite for me. Not even not cringy at all. I remember when I saw it on your IG and I was like, you're a fucking legend.
I mean,
I love that. But I just couldn't do it. I think like it really like shook me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was annoyed that it shook me because I really feel like, tell me if you can relate to this. You know, there's a guy that you're dating or girl, whoever, and they're kind of like, you're not really that happy in it, and you want to break up with them, but they get there before you. It kind of felt like that.
Yeah.
Like for me, it was like the person you were going to break up with, and they got there before you. So it was like so frustrating.
Right.
It was like upsetting. It was a little bit embarrassing. There was like so many emotions.
I guess it is embarrassing on some level.
But it really shouldn't be embarrassing because
there's shame, but
it's not personal, but it just kind of feels like it. So I was like really like impressed by your approach. But our approaches were so different.
I know.
Yeah.
But like it brought us to this. And what happened? We ran into each other at the most glamorous holiday party.
Yeah.
And in Brooklyn Heights.
Yeah.
And that's where we talked and learned that, you know, we talked about being laid off. And then we got a coffee later that week at Raps.
Yeah.
And you walked in and you looked so good. I was like, she knows stuff. No, really.
I mean, I don't even know. It's amazing that you can remember this. My memory is so terrible sometimes, but I do remember we went to that really lovely place. And it's just like, why, we should like meet up. I wanted to like get to know you more. We've known each other for a good few years.
Yeah.
But it's like mostly met in like social settings, but I knew like that we like connected and we've had like fantastic chats and stuff. So it was really nice to just have like a sit down connection. We're both going through similar things.
Yeah, with the
I just thought it would just be nice to like have a chat.
Yeah.
But how did it turn into a podcast? Obviously, like I'm like a little more in the podcast world. We're both journalists and stuff. But
you're the one who meant you go blah 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 haha. I want the soft life or something. And I was like, wait, what's the soft life?
Yes.
And you were like, oh, it's this like way of thinking. It originated in Nigeria with women.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I do remember that.
You brought it up, and I was like, what is that? Because it's like the soft life. It just like sells itself.
Yeah.
Like the sound of it. You
know?
know?
Definitely. So I was speaking to a friend of mine from London who's also. Actually, she's not from London. Sorry, she's from the north. But I was speaking to her. Terrible.
Wait, what's the north?
The north. I know it's so like
the north.
The north. She's from like Sheffield.
Okay.
So in London is like south.
Oh
north.
Yes, Sheffield.
She's from Sheffield. She's amazing. She's Jamaican. Her name's Cash, and she was on her way to Colombia because she spends half the year in Cali, and then she also works in events. We met in arts, in the arts world. And I was saying to her, I just love this. You know, you're just like in Cali working on projects, and you're coming back to London working, like what's going on? I like need some of that. You're a legend. And then she said, babe, it's all about the soft life. And I said, what is that? Tell me more. And she's like, you have to prioritize like well-being, emotional, like low stress, because it's not good for us. And I said, that's so true. There's so much that we like keep inside, hold inside. And we don't need to. Like, how do we relinquish that? And how do we create a life that works for us, that's also practical? Because we're not made of money. I need to work.
No, yeah.
And I have kids, you know what I mean? So, like, how do we get that? And she's an amazing person. I love her vibe. And I just want to follow that.
Wait, I like that too. But also I think important to mention, okay, so if the grind is the opposite of the soft life, we'll say, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the grind in my case was also self-imposed, you know, like I've had lovely, lovely bosses my whole life actually, and most recently. And I feel like the grind was something I kind of put on myself, you know? So for me, it really is like a shift in thinking, an intentional shift in thinking.
Definitely, because some things are just not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, some things is like, is it worth me taking on, for instance, let's say a particular project if it's going to be really high stress? No,
It doesn't
because
pay that much.
Exactly, and where's that stress going to go? You know what I mean? Like, literally in the body, but also in terms of like your attitude, like waking up and like being with the kids, and you know, like it takes up mind space. I think that's also a really key part of it. But also something as well is like time. Time is so bloody precious.
Oh my God.
And I wouldn't have spoken to Cash or spoken to you if I wasn't laid off.
That's true.
I mean,
we wouldn't have had time.
Yeah, we wouldn't have had time to meet up. And for me, that's like so telling as well. I think the soft life is also thinking about time and what that really like means to you.
And giving yourself time within the frame of, you know, whatever you have to do to make a living.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like if you have that luxury to think about time like that, I know there's some people where they just don't have time and they're working like low paid jobs, etc. But like we are in a position that is much more stable and privileged than our like lineage, right? Yeah. And we need to take advantage of that.
Yeah, but well said. Yeah,
that's why we're here.
And I also feel like it's making me a better parent.
Yeah,
because like just a dumb example, but like I was picking up my son from school, and we were riding the subway home, and he started to have a tantrum because I wouldn't give him another yogurt pouch or something dumb like that. And so, you know, usually it's like, oh, stop, you know, we have to get home. Like I have to like sign back on, you know, but I had some time. I'd just been laid off. And so I took him off the subway train at like 4 stops early. And I took him on the platform and we stopped and talked. And I said, we can't go back on until you're ready and until you calm down. Yeah. And like, you need time to do that, you know? So it just made me think like, I need to figure out a way to make a living for myself with like, some time. Yeah. Some more time.
Exactly, because you're essentially working like multiple jobs.
I mean, like the biggest job of all being that mom.
I know, it's a lot. It's interesting you mentioned that with your kids because like I feel like for me what it's done is I've had more time, right? Normally what I might have done is like they do their homework, whatever, and then they get a little bit of telly. Now it's like less telly. We like have more time together, and now my kids are like, oh my gosh, no, like mum's more like wants to spend that intentional time with us.
Hang with you?
No, because they want to like watch telly because they're like at that age where they're like a little bit addicted.
They don't like the soft life for you. They're like, go away.
My daughter was like really upset yesterday. She'd like come back from her like dad, so we like do like a 50-50, and sometimes, you know, it's like, you know, it's an adjustment for them, like totally. And she was like, I don't like how you've like changed. It's me, darling. I just want to spend more time with you. I know it's kind of hard.
They're rejecting you.
I know, but it means that I'm here a little more.
Yeah.
But it's also a reminder of like the technology and how addictive it is, right? Yeah. Because I would just be going back into work doing my thing because I'd need to do it or go to a meeting. I just have to do stuff. But for them, obviously, once they'd like done the things that they needed to do, they then got to be in a place of like, let's just veg out or whatever in front of the telly. And I think a really interesting thing about the telly, look, I love telly, but sometimes it is a way of avoiding something, right? Connection and this and that. And I think my children are now sometimes like, I want to go into the telly.
It's easier.
Totally. But then when we also have a really nice time hanging out with each other, or we're like playing games, or like they're getting into it, they actually really like it.